the only child of a wealthy family, complacency became a way of life. One night of drinking, the only bad review of his career. The mindset shift that changed everything. Welcome, Raymond Tsai.
So I grew up in the U.S. So my mom was here in 1985, gave birth, and then as soon as she can get me on the plane, I went back to the plane as a baby. I went back to Taiwan as a baby. So I grew up in Taiwan, went through elementary school and then middle school, and I was all number one in my class or in the school. I was doing really well academically. And then I came here when I was 16. I believe my aunt and the whole family from my mom's side was in here already. So my aunt is a really successful business owner. So back then she started her business already, and she started bringing all my uncles, my grandparents here. My mom was the only sibling that was still in Taiwan, because my dad owns the business. His business is in Taiwan, so they cannot just immigrate here. But then she told my mom, come here to give birth to him. So you never know. So it's good to have options and be a citizen. Yeah, and one day if I decide to stay here, live here, build a career here, then I can do so. Yeah. So I appreciate that a lot, because especially when we get older, we see people around us who are here for school, or they got sent here for work, and when they want to stay, the visa, right, to get a citizenship, green card, the hassle they had to go through. Yeah.
Tell us about your childhood.
My childhood, I'm very spoiled. Yeah, I also joke that I grew up happily, very happy. I'm the only child. So, for instance, the grapes, growing up, the grapes I ate has no skins. They're all peeled. Seeds all taken out. So I can eat grapes in spoons. It's almost like eating candies, and then drink the juice. Yeah. So I'm a very happy and spoiled kid. So no siblings. I'm actually very selfish. I can recognize that, especially looking back. So I had to learn my way around people ever since I was in elementary school. Yeah. So there's times where I joke about something, it's funny, but easily you cross the line. Now it's not funny, and then there's times when people don't want to be around you. So I'm always constantly learning how to know that fine line. Yeah.
Got it. The U.S.
I was 16, and my parents think it's about time to send me here I guess just to send me here to get to know the culture, and then if I decide to stay here, I think that's probably the time when they feel like I can adapt to the way how the U.S. how Americans think, right? And then hope my English will improve a lot. Yeah, just by myself. Yeah, I lived with my aunt at the time. Yeah, I think I was. Now looking back, I'm not sure, because there's definitely excitement, especially at that age. You do want to go to different places, but you're leaving all the friends behind, right? And then you have to get very nervous about the new environment, and especially the English they taught back then. You're not to have much conversation now, so it's really hard to go around talking to people. Yeah, it's really hard. For instance, first time I rode a bike. I went to a McDonald's, and then I took all my courage to go there to order food myself, and then finally I go through. I want number 3, and they start asking you, what drinks do you want? I'm like, Coke. And the third question got me, for here or to go? So it's as simple as that. I don't know what they mean. So I look at the clerk and I say, I want large. And they're like, no, for here or to go? I'm like, okay, fine, small. And so it's because just to go, I never heard of it. In Taiwan, when they taught you, it's called takeout. Yeah. So it's just little things like that I have to deal with daily. And then finally I was able to overcome that when I was 25. A lot later, yeah.
How was immigrating to the US for high school?
It was good where it's a lot of people who speak Mandarin, like myself. But at the same time, I didn't really learn much English back then, right? They had us read, I think it's Hardy Boys. It's probably like elementary school book, but for high school, as English as second language, you have to read that. Few words always got me confused, right? Suggestion, suggest, supposed, suspect. When I read them, they all look the same to me. Yeah, it was really tough until how do I put it? Sophomore year, I feel like if I work hard enough, I'm going to Harvard. So I was like, that year I studied so hard, but it's really I'm behind on every subject because the English barrier. So even as an easy math, I would not be understand the English part, right? I think even subtract is hard for me. I'm like, why can't you just put minus there? Stuff like those. Yeah, the self-confidence is you drop way down because when I was in Taiwan, my academic, it's good, and when I was here, now I feel like I'm the bottom 20% of, as far as the grade, and so definitely not confident back then. SAT. I didn't even want to waste time and money. Yeah. Oh, and one thing I've learned so different from here in Asia. Asia, you got everything planned out. You have a teacher assigned to the class, almost like a grade teacher here. And they just tell you what you need to do. When the time comes, you have to apply for this, submit that. Here, in high school, you're on your own. What you want to do, what you want to achieve, the resource is always there. So you have to ask yourself. But that's what I lack, especially coming from the culture that you're not supposed to ask, right? You're supposed to do what you're told. So I went to PCC, I went to Rio Hondo, I went to Mount Sac. I even went to Fullerton City College. I failed all colleges, yeah. And then if you hear the subject I'm failing, then you know it's not a skill issue, it's a mindset issue. I failed Chinese, and I failed karate. No. So I think the mindset, and then later on, I always share with people that if you ask me if going to college is important, I think as far as learning skill, maybe not as important, especially in today's world. But it's also very important on going to university or college. It's a mindset of finishing something, no matter what happened, right? I don't go to school sometimes. Sometimes the first day orientation, I miss it just because I cannot find parking. So I decided, you know what, not meant to be, and I just didn't take any classes that semester. Yeah. After that, I went to work for. During that time, my first job was at a coffee shop place, and everything was fun. I started first time making money, so I loved the feeling of getting my first check. And then I went to a shoe company, my aunt's shoes company, as a salesperson. So that's my first sales job. I was horrible. It's hard because I didn't have any experience. I have a good mentor who's trying to teach me things. His name is Robert. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. But I remember one day I was in a showroom, like about the size like this room here. A Korean shoe, like boutique shop owners. There's a lot back then. She was here, a Korean lady, and she's like, I want to see these shoes. And I was showing her. She said, how much? I gave her a price. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe everything was wrong. She looked at me again, and then she started walking out. And she went out, faced the office where there's a lot of people sitting, and she just turned and said, I don't want him helping me. He doesn't know anything. And then he said, Robert, I want you to help me, the mentor. Yeah. That was the first time I'm like, wow, this is tough. Yeah. I think I didn't, in my life, actually for the most part, I escape from a situation like that. So one day I just don't go to work. So I know I don't think this is for me. And my family actually worry about me for that because I give up. I don't have the resilience. Yeah, I don't have that mindset of persevere. So I gave up and I went to work for a cell phone store. The first cell phone store I went to work for, I think I quit again after 1 week. I didn't even go back to get my check. Yeah, and guess what's the reason I didn't like the traffic. Just I live in Roland Heights. I drive to St. Gabriel, and it's just too much traffic. Yeah, I found another cell phone store close by to me. I found so going to that cell phone store gave me confidence again. I went there working as a part-time salesperson. So I was paid for about $1,600 a month. So I was really excited. And after 3 months, I was doing well. So I got promoted to store manager. And I was getting paid the base is $1,800. They promoted me back to St. Gabriel. There was a plaza called Focus Plaza. I think they're rebranding it, where 99 Ranch is. I was on the second floor. I had to turn the store around. So at the time, they were doing about activating 90 lines a month. In cell phone world, like how many lines you activate this month. I was there for 3 months. I was able to turn the store around, turn from 90 to 270 lines a month. So 3 times business, 3 times the revenue for the store. So I got really excited. The owner was really generous. They're even my clients today. So they have a very generous split. So I was 19 years old at this time. It sounds like there's a lot of job in between, but only 1 year passed. So I was 19 years old now. There was 1 month, my paycheck was $10,000, right? And it was 2006, 7, and I was 19. And then this is me getting, if I look at myself like, hey, just step up and grow up. My head got this big. My ego blew off. I think the store cannot survive without me. So I start slacking off and didn't perform. I was not concentrate. I wasn't doing good service. So I think I got fired at the peak, and I got fired about 3 months later. Yeah. So, and then I went unemployed for probably 2 months. And then my friend found me a job at bank, East West Bank. So I went to East West Bank, started working as a teller for 6 months. And then I switched job again because Citibank gave me an offer for 30% more. So I went from $9 to $12 an hour now. Yeah. Now going from that peak of the income and then drop back to the teller position, I'm looking a way to make that income again, and also to seek the feeling that whatever you contribute, you know what you're getting back, right? But working at a bank as a wage employee, you don't, maybe sometimes you get bonus. And back then it was 2008 at that time. So no bank is giving me a bonus. I remember one of the bonus check I got from East West Bank was like $5. And one of my coworkers got raised, she said, okay, I got raised this year. And then she opened up the notice, 3 cents an hour. So I'm looking for ways to advance and start. I think at the time I was 20-ish. I want to find direction for my career. So I went at Citibank. I saw that personal banker at the time seems like a good position where I want to go next. And maybe next one I'll become an investment banker. I see some financial advisor. They're doing so well. They're chill. They don't have to come on. You don't have to clock in 9 o'clock. And I was talking to one, become friend with one. He's like, hey, if you do this, my job is be out there meeting clients. That's my job. If you don't see me here, it doesn't mean I'm not working. I'm networking. I'm getting connection. So okay, I wish one day that's my job. So I don't have to. I have to go to the restaurant by the clock, right? So I start thinking about what's the opportunity I can show to the bank manager that I have the potential. And the only thing as a teller can sell at the time is credit cards. So I started doing so well with client. Would you like to apply a credit card? You can get 0% free interest card. This one has travel mileage. This one's points, cash free. I was able to sell probably 50 cards a month, while other tellers are doing 2 or 3 a month. So I was thinking, okay, I'm doing so well. Someone see me, please. And then there's an opening from the personal banker side. So the moment I knew about it, I went to our manager and say, hey, I want to apply for this position. And he looked at me. He said, Raymond, I know you're gonna ask for this position, and I know you will want to apply for it. But I have to tell you, all the other people, they've been working here for a lot longer than you are. You've only been here for like 5 months. If I give you this position, then all of them are not gonna be happy. So, and then when I hear this, I wasn't mad or sad or anything. The only thing I can think of is, I think when it comes to adversity, I'm very logical. The only thing I can think of is, okay, then how long do I have to wait? Because they all been here for like 10, 15 years. So I decided then I have to look for something else. And at the time, I already got my real estate license. So I started doing part-time. It was just on newspaper. There was a class. It's real estate license. Get your license in 3 months. I'm like, that sounds easy. Yeah. So I went down and get it. Yeah. People actually, when they ask me, I told them this is what happened. But subconsciously, when I reflect back, when I was at cell phone store, usually people come to the store around 4 or 5 after work, or they come during weekend. There's a group of people who can always come around 12, 3, whatever the time we open, 11 o'clock, dress nice. And when they don't talk about the money the way that's so like afraid of $10, $20 more. And I asked them what they do. And either they're real estate agents or insurance agent. So maybe subconsciously I'm like, okay, that's probably another good career to pursue. Yeah. So, but then I got my license the second time. The first time I went to do the class, I gave up after 2 months because the cell phone store got so busy. I was making $10,000 a month. Who needs to be a real estate agent, right? That's what I was thinking at that age. Yeah, and then the second time now, as I was waiting to find the second job, I think I get the license. Yeah, I decided to leave the bank when I didn't get the promotion I wanted, and I was looking around. One of the clients at the bank runs a mortgage company, and they actually say, hey, would you like to come and become a loan processor? I didn't know what that is, but I say, okay, that's closer to real estate, right? So I say, sure. And because of that, I don't want to waste any more time there, because I think at that age, money is important, but like I said, I'm an only child. Money is not everything. I'm blessed. I have good backup. One thing, this kind of side. I remember one thing my dad always told me is I work really hard, and what I want to provide is a life where you can choose to do what you want to do based on what you want to do, not because you have to do it, right? And if you even want to be an artist, I want to be able to let you say that I'm going to do this, right? So I always have that good mindset over there. So back to the mortgage company, I went there to become loan processor. I'm not good at that job. It's just hard. You give me one paper, so that's probably why I don't do well in college. Even open book, I cannot match them. So they give me all the information. I always have something put in the wrong place. But that wasn't the reason they were firing me. I got fired again. It's because one day I was in the meeting room. The owner of that company is going over some important structure, LLCs, how the fire coming from this way, you have to protect here, and if the fire comes from the other way, you have to protect from here. And I'm listening to all this, I start going daydreaming, because I don't understand what they're talking about. So my job was take notes. By the end of the meeting, he's like, Raymond, show me your notes. Oh my God, my face went pale. So on there was only a date and my doodling. And it's like, you're not really paying any attention. And we can tell. And he even told me that we can see that even while you're working, you were secretly writing offers for your client. And he told me that if you want to do something, I need to give you 100%, right? And then if you really want to do real estate, it's very simple. It's like we're competing on picking up trashes. Who is bending over more on the ground doing the work is always going to collect more. And that's kind of one of the things that stick with me. Yeah. So they let me go. But funny thing is that the owner who fired me, his name is Eddie, also become one of my biggest mentor. His wife, Debbie, as well. And they become my mentor and then also a big client down the road. Yeah, so I was really grateful. Yeah. So I got fired. Now I have no option, but there's no other things to do. So I decided to start focusing on doing real estate. At that time, I probably sold 3 homes total. Yeah. And now that's when I got fired. It's end of 2008. Now I just have to go produce. First 5 years, I sell for about 8 to 10 homes a year, making about $50,000. So I think for me, I got complacent and satisfied. I'm very happy with that income because I was only 23 now. $50,000 at that time, still better than most of my friends. They're probably still in college at that time, and definitely better than when I was in the bank. So I'm thinking, I'm good, right? And it's not until later on when I lost, I think I call that stage where you're not really living, but you're not dying. So you're just complacent. So every single day I woke up, I have no schedule. I turn on the TV, I start watching one TV show, thinking I'll finish, I'll start working after this TV show. Then there's another one coming up. Oh, this one's interesting, I'll wait a little bit. And then now it's lunchtime. Lunchtime, so you know what, it's lunchtime, I should have lunch. Afternoon, then something else come up. So I was being very reactive. I was only reacting to the work that comes to me. Yeah. And that goes on for a while, for about 5 years, no, 3 or 4 years. Then I become, 2012 was kind of the change. So I went out of a relationship, and that relationship was 8 years, and it was just tough, right? So I stopped. I didn't drink alcohol before that. I started drinking at that time. Some agents from the exact same office, I think she's still here. There's one day they were saying, Raymond, I'm worried about you. You're drinking in the daytime. So I used to put alcohol in my thermal cup, and I'll drink wine during daytime, and that goes on for like 6 months. At that time, when you are at the bottom, rock falls down. So got out of relationship, failed at business. I didn't sell a home for 6 months. And I don't blame my client because there's few incidents. At that time, a really good friend, and later on become my great client, my high school friend. She referred her cousin to me. The morning when I was there to help her cousin going over some houses, she walked next to me and said, Raymond, I can still smell alcohol from you. And it was like 8 a.m. in the morning, 9 a.m. in the morning. And at that year, I got 6 traffic tickets, 1 DUI. And so everything just went wrong. And even if you go on my Zillow, my only one bad review was back then. And it was, I feel sorry, there's no excuse, is one client made an appointment to see a home at 10 o'clock the next morning. But then I got so drunk, I overslept. And I didn't, so next morning I didn't show up, they were there waiting. I didn't get back to them until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, so that was, I even emailed Zillow. Is there any way you guys can take out the review? And they're like, no, the system doesn't work like that. And they said, Raymond, look at bright side. When people leave a bad review, it makes the other review look real. Yeah, I think it's just sad all the time, right? Try to numb your sadness, or I think it's also the uncertainty. Yeah, because a long-term relationship is like a certainty. That you're not sure. A lot of emotions, And it's a young, I think 20s, now I look back, it's a really young age to, you don't know how to deal with it. And more often you don't know how to deal with yourself, with those emotions, right? And then a few years back in COVID, I went to Sedona. So if I had techniques I've learned, then I think I can handle those. At Sedona, I learned how to acknowledge your emotion. And there's so many different techniques to bring you back to neutral. So when I was younger, I was looking for excitement, happiness, fun. After life experiences, after learning from different teachers, spiritual teachers, I'm looking for neutral. I don't want to, whenever there's, even when I'm too excited, I need to know how to bring myself back. Right? Yeah.
What was your turning point?
Turning point, one day, the McDonald's next to this building, City of Industry, I was there trying to buy a $1 burger because I've survived on $1 burger for a while. When I was there ordering the burger, and when I swiped my credit card, it couldn't go over. Then I tried another card, debit card, every card, none of them go through. And I realized, oh my God, I literally spent everything I have, even the credit. And so I had to go back to my car. I drove a Honda Accord, 2000 back then. They have a little parking on the side where you can find coins. So I had to find coins to pay for it, for that burger. And that's when I really think, you know what? I have to just stop. I just have to suck it up and do something. Yeah, this cannot go on and on and on and on. Yeah, that's when I think once your mindset is right, then life is not gonna turn around suddenly, but your focus are different now. So I found few. I think in the office at the time they had this class they were promoting, Tom Ferry, real estate coaching. So I went on the first one. I went there, got emotional. I cried because I heard the story. Single mom went broke and had to save the family, feed the kids, and they turn around now she's making $300K a year. I'm like, oh, I think this is gonna work. So I signed up for coaching. It was $750 a month, and I signed up for it. I did nothing about it. So 6 months, I think that went on for 3 months, and I went even more broke because now I have to call and say I cannot afford this. They're like, you know what? It's a contract for 12 months. You cannot just cancel it, but we can let you suspend it for 6 months before you resume. So I had to do that. But I think that's that sign and the time where I start looking for what's gonna help me out. This I didn't do what has to be done, but my mindset I'm not hungry out there looking for clients. And little by little, a few people really support me, gave me the opportunity. I was able to make the same business in half a year when I usually do it in a year. So 2012, that's the year. Second half, I made the 50K, 60K. During that time, an agent from the office reached out to me. She was fighting with her son. Her son gave her a book, say, hey, you're not really managing your money well. Read this book. It's The Richest Man in Babylon. But she doesn't read English that well, so she gave the book to me and said, Raymond, my son told me to read this, but I can't. Can you read it and give me the summary? I'm like, sure. So I start reading it. I'm like, then suddenly they give me a path. Because before, if I'm in that hole, I can only think about how to pay the debt. But that journey is not gonna be fun, and it's not as fulfilling. Have you read that? So the book is really simple, right? As soon as you start making money, and they give you the plan, there's saving, investment. Not only that, you have to try to upgrade your lifestyle, all reduce your debt, all at the same time. It's a new concept to me. So I start planning out every dollar in, what bucket it goes to reduce the debt one, to investment, to this, or whatever I'm gonna upgrade. Right? Try to upgrade something, yeah. And then things start getting well. 2013, I think first year, me and Jack, it's a very significant year because we both broke the $100 limit. Yeah. So that year we made over 100,000. I think that's why I can snap that $5,000 course you offer. I wish you offer it again, but I know I think the offer, the value you provide is way more than that. The preparation you have to put in, the time, yeah. But I signed it, and then that's when everything started turning. 2014, my income went down again. I always joke, it's probably because I hired Yvonne for some reason. In the beginning, when in my leadership development stage, when I hire someone, I have a feeling where if I hire you and there's a thing needs to be done that I think it should be done by you, I'm not gonna do it. But I'll keep asking you to do it. I think that's the right mindset. Now looking back, yeah.
What was your biggest takeaway?
From that course? Okay, I think it's the first class that really changed everything. Because everything else is really technical, right? Wholesale, tax lien, and then there's a lot more, like how to buy liens and sell them. But it's the first one. It's all really just about the money. The mindset. The first class, I still remember this. You hold out $100, and who wants this $100? And we're like all raising hand. I'm like there. It's like, okay, what kind of stupid questions? I didn't know you. So well, $5,000 for this? Then I forgot who. He stood up, walked forward, and took it. And then you're like, okay, this is what everyone wants to make money, but no one gets it because no one ever stood up and took the action. So that was a big hit. It's like, oh, right. There was time when I went out the door knocking. Every single time I can drive there, and I just drove away. It's so hard. When you think about it, it's fun and exciting, but to take the action, it's hard. Yeah. So that was the first, like a mind-blowing idea, and then we started talking about the money hand up. Yeah. And you asked me what was mine. I didn't think I have any money hand up. I think I know how to save money. I never really put on an unbelievable debt on myself. Besides even during that period of time, now I look back, I owe $30,000 on credit card. It's a lot to me back then, but not much now. So during the course, I didn't feel like I have a money problem until you start saying, okay, what's your belief in money? And I'm start thinking, okay, I think, because all the upbringings, everyone, especially in Asia, they tell you money is hard to earn. You have to work really hard for money, right? You have to work really, really hard, and you have to cherish it and protect it. So first one was money is hard to make. And the second one is I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, but how long is it going to take, right? I also want to be those wonder boys where they make $1 million, $2 million, and billions overnight. And so I feel like it takes a long time to become wealthy. And then then you walk us through, you coach me to rewrite that mantra. And the one we came up with is money comes to me easily. I still even say it today all the time. Money comes to me easily. I am becoming wealthy quickly. I told everyone I know that I feel like as soon as I start saying that, every single day there's always something feel like money start pulling down from the sky. Someone's calling me for help on a house, a management opportunity. There's just a lot of opportunities. When I first said it, I felt excited. And the more I say that, the more I believe it. Yeah, in the beginning it's more in the beginning I feel like only when I'm saying it I believe it. But then it's become a constant reminder. But over time, it really changed my mindset to abundance rather than scarcity. Afraid of losing money versus I accept the flow of the money, right? I see every dollar goes, I know there's another dollar gonna come back. Yeah. And also another things I've learned from the class is how the debt work, right? You walked me through my first, later on we saw they call the BRRRR method. You buy, you renovate, and then you rent it out, refi and repeat. And that's actually what you taught us all along. Even till today, they see that the first few deals that we did is unbelievable. But back then, yeah, I was able to buy my first one. You wholesale that one, facilitate that one. We bought it for $30K, renovate, spend $20K, appraised for $75, and got my $50K back. So I think that's definitely a different way of looking at money, right? It's how money works. Yeah, it's coming from the old mindset. Either you buy it or you put money and get a loan to buy it. Now you open up the whole possibility. Yeah. I started looking at, so my personal profile on the real estate side, thanks to your connection, I start investing into real estate portfolio. And then I sold one, but then I have about 6 now out there doing well. Some of them have issues, but you know what issues, right? Very similar issues. And I start looking at the syndication. Some of them we still even have it with you. Transition is I start building cash flow machine besides selling real estate. Because I see selling real estate as an active income, a money coming in to support what I want to build. And I started looking at everything as in if I can do it once, would it produce for multiple times? I think that's probably the biggest thing I got from the course. Are you building something, or you're only doing one transaction?
How did you meet your wife?
I think it was natural. Because for her, we were friends first, and then after we become friends, was probably after a year, before she was going back to Taiwan, that we start, probably a week before, we start talking and like, oh, you know what, I think we start finding each other attractive. I think one of the things I really built fully is the family, right? And then after 1 year of the long distance relationship, she moved here. That was, in the beginning, was a struggle because when she moved back here, I feel like I'm responsible for, not like she doesn't need me to pay anything, but you always feel like, okay, now she's moving back. Some percentage of it is must because of me, so I have to make sure I take care of her, right? And because she's back now, the roommate that I have to tell her to move out. And that was $650 a month. It's a lot for at that stage. And then she moves back in early 2014. Probably, or end of 2013, I forgot. And then very soon, we had our first kid in 2015. That was very stressful. Yeah. I was very scared financially, and then also, I don't think anyone's ready. No one's ready to be parents, right? I don't even like parents, especially if you play cash flow games. That's the worst car you can get, right? And I always joke I drove twice. It's getting me further and further away from exiting the rat race. But then I think it's a good push. Also, very stressful. How stressful, right? I can even at the time when I knew she was pregnant. And then everything is good. You just go to doctors, and you don't cost much. Not until about 3 months before she's due, we start looking for what we call like the nanny, but then it's not the nanny for long term. It's the one that takes care of newborn. Now it's even more expensive, but back then, for 40 days, it cost $6,500, just 40 days. And I was thinking, where am I gonna come up with that money? So I start getting all allergies. There's like bump, red dots, itchy. I remember starting from inner thigh, and then start spreading all over my legs, my back, my arms, eventually even my hand. And back then, me and Jack, we keep each other accountable. So we're always prospecting. I have to be out there door knocking every day. At some point, I have to, every day before I walk out, I told Demi to hold my hand to see if she can feel the bump. Because if she can feel it, then I don't want to, when I'm out there, and then she said, "You're okay," then I go. And I do that, and until that goes on for like 2 months, I thought I'm gonna die. Because it's weird, itchy. Yeah, and I had HMO insurance back then, so I can't just go to any doctor. That's why I start, like, once I can afford it, I switch to PPO. If I want to see some doctors, whoever that is, I want to see him right away. I don't know. I think then things start happening when I believe there's they call income thermometer. Like, if you need this much, you're gonna make that much. So with the kids coming, another breakthrough year. That year I broke the $300,000 mark. And with that, then the kits become not as expensive. Yeah. And then 2016, 17, 17, the second one comes along. Yeah. And everything goes really well until, I would say 2020 is when suddenly COVID happened, right? So it hit everyone. Financially, different level, but emotionally it's the same thing, the uncertainty, right? A few syndication I made was back then for hotels. It all got so stuck, right? So, and funny thing is I invested into a hotel syndication. In 2 years, we got 70% return. And it was in Utah. So I think I am genius. Everyone think they're genius at that time. So we invested in another hotel, 2 hotels. So one I think recently got foreclosed, and the other one is still stuck there because they all, guess what interest rate they got? They all have to get a 20% interest rate on multi-million-dollar loan. So they all, no matter how well the hotel is doing, the debt service is too high. Yeah. So they're all waiting to refi, but the rate is still up there. Yeah. And they all somehow closing the worst timing, March 2020. That's why they had to close at such a high rate. Yeah. And when COVID happened, the first 3 months was so tough. We have 10 escrows canceling. No one's willing to buy. One of the mentor, his analogy is even more scary. He's like, this is like the Gulf War plus SARS, and then plus the financial crisis all together. You see, everything is like tanking. Yeah, that one I lose probably 50,000, and then there's other investment I made. I lose everything I include. I probably lose like 200K to maybe 200 to 300K. Yeah, so I'm very grateful though.
Why?
That I'm losing them when I was young, and then also when relatively, it's not when I have so much money. I still believe like one day I'm gonna with so much. So I'm thinking I learned the lesson when I'm more like it's not as much, right? If I have the same mistake when I'm in my 60s, it could be 3 million. Yeah.
What helped you?
Well, first, emotionally and mentally, I think I went to Sedona. I took they call it a soul searching trip. So I went there and took, like I really believe in coaching. Yeah, you're probably one of my very first coach. So real estate mindset. And not only that, do you remember you host a yearly workshop in Dennis 1 year? So I was there. You got me looking into my health, financial, relationship, spiritual, and mindset, mentally, right? So I believe in this will of balance. So I went to Sedona. Like I feel like, okay, my emotion is too yo-yoing with whatever the market is doing. But it's like Jim said, whatever happens to everyone. So I was there, and then I learned how to so many different techniques for me to focus on what really matters to me. Yeah. So I have to step back from money is the only index of your success and worthiness to look at what you have now. Yeah. I guess that's how I bounce back mentally. But financially, luckily, the market helps, right? After that, I certainly start taking off. Yeah.
You mentioned a quote.
Yes. Don't let money change you. It was my 5th, 6th commission check. Back then, 2008, 9. When escrow closes, it's not like today. You don't even see them. You don't know who they are. Money just transferred to your account. Back then, you have to go to escrow office to pick up the check. I was like, hi, I'm here for my check. In my mind, I'm like, give me the check now, and I just want to go. Stop wasting my time. But she's like, Raymond, take a seat. I'm like, for what? So I sat down, but you know me, I'm very nice and I'm always very genuine. So I start. She said, how long have you been in business? I'm saying, oh, it's just 2-3 years, and said, how many deals have you done? And I told her, this is my 6th, and I'm very excited. And she's saying it's really smooth transaction, thank you. And I said, thank you too, it made everything so easy. It's like, Raymond, I have to tell you one thing. One day when you do well, don't let money change you. Like your eyes are pure, but don't let money change you. And in my mind, it's like, what do you mean? And I told her, okay, but thank you, but I'm sure I won't let money change me. And it's like, no, Raymond, I've been in the business for, I don't know if she said 30 or 40 years, 30 years. You become what you do. And every real estate agent that I know that do well at some point, most of them changed with money. They change. So keep your pure eyes and don't let money change you. And then I'm like, okay, thank you. And all I can think at the time is, can I go now? So I got a check, I left, and then I think it's after years later when I was start doing well, 2015, 16, you know, money make you change. Sometimes, like Demi, you mentioned my wife, right? She's beautiful, but I think more importantly, she's very helpful at this. Sometimes I can talk in a way that's condescending, right? I can get cocky. I can talk in a way that I don't care. I forgot about how other people may feel, and she always remind me. And from time to time, I always remember this escrow officer, and because most people, I believe they're more like this way. They do have ego, and sometimes they go sideways. And the important thing is you have to have that North Star where you know where you're going as far as your character, right? It's not how much you make, it's what you become along the way of making it. At 2018 or 19, my best year, I was making just commission alone was $700,000. And that's a lot of money to me. So she can sense that the way I talk is different. So one day I was talking about some scenarios. One thing about how people talk to me, and her name is Gailey, say, hey Raymond, I have to ask you this. Did you secretly think this sometimes when you're talking to people? Do you think in your mind that you're saying, don't you know who I am? Don't you know how much I'm making? Don't you know how much more I'm making than you? And she's asked, like, do you think like that sometimes, secretly? And I took a moment and I said, you know what, coach? I do. But when you realize, when you really acknowledge it, you actually feel bad. Like you're becoming someone you definitely don't want to become for most people. Yeah. So I think a lot of, that's why I wrote that down, because it's a constant reminder. Now I have to still tell myself every single day to kill that thought. Yeah. I think in some measure, I really feel I'm successful because I was able to build a company, also my real estate, the brokerage side, to not only support the lifestyle I am, but when I say successful, it's I heard this message once and I really live it. It's to make $1 million. You have to focus, not have to, like you focus on helping 10 people make $100,000 each, and you're gonna make $1 million. The same speaker also said that in order to keep people around you, your goal has always have to grow for their goal to be within. Like your goal has to be big enough for their goal to be there. And I think if we talk about successful, I am successful in doing these two things. So people we work with, now we have, I just count, I think we have 5 people making 100K, more than 100K each. And I'm constantly upgrading my goal. Yeah, I'm a big dreamer, and I'm not afraid of dreaming. I think that's why I would call I'm proud of. Yeah.
What was your experience investing in the movie business?
I lost a lot of money on that. Yeah, because I think that at some point the business went bad, and they start using other people's money to pay the original investors' money. So in the beginning, everything went so well. I even raised funds for them. I'm so glad I didn't raise too much. I think because they were explaining the business model, and I get to know the person. And even some of the investors they are associated with, I'm still in some other venture capital thing with them. So this person is one of them, and the return was good, right? Now I think it's not too good, but it's 12%, right? And the model sounds legit. That's how I believe in it. Yeah, I think I believe in the wrong people, right? So that was just, I feel bad because I raised the fund, but then I'm proud of myself because there were I only raised fund from 3 people. One is my mother-in-law, and then Elaine, my business partner. Another one is, her name is Diana, one of the clients. They invest 100K and then 50K each. I was able to, when I knew the money was lost, I have this belief. If the money went lost because the business went down, then it's a business decision. Everyone should take the risk. But then at the time, I feel it's a fraud. Then when it's a fraud, I did the right thing. At least I think I did the right thing. I gave that money out of my own pocket to them. So that was a 200K loss. But after that, and then after all this investment, now there's my stock portfolio, there's my real estate portfolio, there's the property management company. I still believe in one thing. I think the best investment is still into yourself. Because there's an era talking about passive income. People forgot about the most important capital, which is your human capital, right? How your earning power. And then if you really look at that, for most people, the amount you can make through your lifetime, that's actually the biggest percentage. And no one's really investing in that. Okay, so I look at our record. We sold over 600 homes now, right? Over 20 years. And whenever people say we're doing good, I have to tell them, I'm so glad I went to those Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry event because it sounds like a lot of homes, but it's a long time, right? Some producer there can do 600 in a year. However, I still want to say I appreciate I was able to be in the business that long to produce this much. At the same time, even more excited for my property management company. We do 600 units now, and Yvonne is running that 100%. I know we're gonna get to 1,000 soon. I can see ourselves managing 10,000 units at some point. And I love about that company so much is after all the training we have, the real estate business itself probably not gonna do much with the net worth or sellability, but management company, we can sell that maybe 3 times, or the bigger, the higher the multiples. At some point we can sell that, or I don't know, there's a lot of different possibilities, yeah. And when I look at it, the total amount of the management company that's managing is probably over $600 million. So sometimes I look at the rent that comes in every month. I got really nervous and excited. I'm so glad all the owners trust us. Yeah. So I think that's 2 biggest accomplishment, and definitely a family. I think the family, we're close. My kids, they're doing so well without us having to keep telling them what to do. I think what helps my kids or help me is all the audibles. Like I was telling you, I was letting them listen to the cash flow game for kids and play that game. And there's even chicken soup for kids. I think you told us to read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The son has 7 habits for happy kids. Yeah, so all those audibles really help shape their characters. Yeah.
Thoughts on Asian hate?
we think it's not gonna happen to us until we are the victim. Yeah.
Thoughts on our Asian Americans channel?
Oh, I think it's really important because especially now with the whole, what would be the word? Kind of the whole vibe of the whole society is very divided. So we don't know at some point if we don't do something or we don't have a voice. Like some of my clients they live here, have properties here, but they want to send some money to China, to Taiwan, just in case. Could be one day they want us to leave, right? That could happen. So I think it's very important. And also, we don't want to not have a voice to let other people when. I think there's Asian hate is because we're easy target. I think that if anything, yeah, because other ethnic group, you don't even sometimes you don't want to mess with the wrong group, but you know if there's an Asian old gentleman out there, he's an easy target.
Wow.
Why is it easy target? Because we don't help each other more, right? If you go to 99 Ranch Market and hit someone, rarely other people will come out and help. I don't know. I think it's in our culture. Our culture don't reward heroes. Asian culture, being a hero, being very voice up, it's not actually a good thing. They want you to be calm, high moral standard, very gentle. I think that's probably why. I really believe it's a culture thing. Later on in life, you learn that you need to speak up, right? You have to voice up. Some situation you have to wear that different hat. Not that I like confrontation, but I have to learn to be confrontational. And sometimes even you have to raise your voice to let other people want to work with you. It's a weird thing, but I'm still learning. Yeah.
When people ask, "What are you?" how do you answer?
I'll tell them I'm from Taiwan. I usually don't mention I was born here. For me, I feel like I'm from Taiwan.
Who is the most well-known Taiwanese-American man?
Jensen, is his name Jensen? The NVIDIA? Yeah.
And the second?
Let me think. The second most famous Taiwanese American.
Now there's Raymond Tsai.
Oh, thank you. That's a great ending. Yeah.